right. And let's get to do this, and maybe we have a really short class today. All right, so the first thing that I need to tell you is what is going to happen and the remainder of the school year. So we have homework that is due Tuesday for you guys. It's a long packet, so that's why I gave you a lot of days. It's in your Tarea tab, and it is imperfect and preterite and both combined. So hopefully it will help you with that material. Then tomorrow we have our last quiz, and it's going to be a quizzes with all the words for chapter 4A. And our last test, which is not the final, we don't have a final, is going to weigh as the same as a chapter test. It's going to happen in 6/12. So that is our day for the final is on Friday. Is it Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your period 7. So it's going to be on Friday from 11 to 12:30. That is the chapter test. Here's what it's going to look like. So first of all, it will be deciding preterite versus imperfect. The format is a Microsoft form. And this is the news here. You will be able to see your notes. It's open note because I don't want you to memorize anything really. What I want you to do is be able to understand when are we using perfect and when are we using preterite. Any questions so far? For that, I need you to prepare with all the homework, all the classwork, the packet, everything that we have been working on with that. And the style, so fill in the blanks, forming sentences, translating, picking between the two options, so on and so forth. Does that make sense? Any questions regarding that? Yeah. All right. So when I'm done with this call, I will put the answer key for our classwork for our last class. But I want now for you to open on your 4A, the page Más Práctica. It's called Más Práctica. You're looking at it right now. All right. So as you can see on this, it's similar the style of the last classwork we did. And I did put the table there. Was that helpful?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. I also always put the link to the conjugations in case you are forgetting that. Before doing this page, I want to emphasize that it's really important for us to be really proficient as you can with the conjugations of the preterite and the imperfect and distinguishing between the two. Yeah? So for that, I'm gonna ask Lily on number 1, tell me which one is the preterite, habló or hablaba?
Habló is preterite,
Yes.
and imperfect is hablaba.
Nicolas, what is the imperfect on number 2, miré or miraba?
Imperfect is miraba.
Bien. Alisa, number 3, hice or hacía? What's the preterite?
Hice.
Bien. Lily, fui and iba, what's the imperfect?
Iba.
Bien. Nicolas, preparé, preparaba, what's the imperfect?
Preparaba.
Yes, good job. Alisa, visitamos or visitábamos? Which one is the preterite?
Visitábamos is the imperfect, and the other one is the preterite.
Visitamos is the preterite,
Visitamos.
yes. Lily, fue and era, which one is the imperfect?
Era.
Yes. Nicolas, leía. Which one is the preterite?
Lei is the preterite.
Leí is the preterite. Yes, this one here. Leí is the preterite. Alisa, tuve and tenía. Which one is the preterite?
Tuve,
And then monté and montaba. Which one is imperfect?
montaba,
Lili, viajó, viajaba. Imperfect.
Viajaba.
Bien. Nicolás, hacía and hice. Which one is the imperfect?
Ise.
That's the preterite.
Oh, hacía.
This is the imperfect. ¿Sí?
Sí.
Bien. Alisa, fui, iba. Which one is the preterite?
fui,
Yes. 13, para Lili, puse, ponía. Which one is imperfect?
Ponía.
Ponía. Bien. So, in this activity, similarly as the one that we did the other day, we have the box here. You see the box here, right? So I need you to put on the left hand side if you're going to choose preterite, and on the right hand side, preterite or imperfect, and then right hand side, you're going to tell me the number of the reason. So we have the reasons here. Yes? So if you say that it's the preterite and you think it's interrupted action, you're going to put number 3. See? Now, before we start, tell me if there's any of these that is confusing.
For like characteristic, like condition or feeling, does that like, can you explain that more? Like if you were saying that like he's greedy, would that be a characteristic? Or like if he's being greedy, would that be a condition?
It's a condition and characteristic. So you would say
Okay.
era, right?
What the person is.
Greedy is personality trait. So you would use ser, right?
Okay, so it wouldn't be description, right?
Description. It would be description of the character.
But you would describe it as characteristic.
Yes.
Okay.
So what's the verb that you would use?
Estaba.
But greedy,
What? Oh, for greedy. This.
that's the adjective you told me, right?
Yeah. Isn't disobediente? No, molestaba. Molestar.
What's the translation of greedy?
I don't remember.
It's a personality trait. So you would
Yeah.
use ser. Like for example, if you say inteligente, era inteligente.
Okay.
If you say greedy, I also don't remember, but it would be era and then greedy.
Okay.
I can't remember greedy. I can look it up in a bit. Okay. Here's what happens. I'm gonna write down one sentence that could summarize the preterite would be one time event in the past. One sentence that can summarize imperfect would be description in the past. Also ongoing, right? Ongoing situation. Situation. If you stick with the notion of description in the past, pretty much everything falls in that category, except for the ongoing or the habitual, right? Ongoing or habitual. But everything else, if you think about it, it's really describing what time it was, describing what the background looks like, describing what the person looked like or what was their feeling, right? Does that make sense? Okay. Who can explain to me, because this was confusing. I put together these two at the same level. And if you look at it carefully, we have two verbs in both of them. One is preterite, and it's in the preterite column. The other one is imperfect and is in the imperfect column. Who can explain to me the difference between those two?
It's because the ongoing action is being interrupted by the preterite action.
Correct. So the ongoing action is that we were eating, right?
Yeah.
And then someone called.
Can
So
you
the on, sorry?
can you use the the ongoing situation without preterite?
Yes, you can.
Okay. But you can't use the
say-
interrupt without imperfect.
Yes.
Okay.
You can. Oh, okay, so your question is, can you have the sentence ongoing and not necessarily interrupted, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and that happens when you have two things that were ongoing. Like while this was happening, I was also doing something else. And the ongoing translates into English with the was or were, and then the ing. That's the ongoing in English. Yeah?
Mhm.
Okay. So I am going to give you guys are 3 and we have 13. Why don't I have 3 por 3, 9, 3 por 4, 12. I'm going to give you 4. So 1 through 4, Lily. Um, 5 through 8, Nicolas. And then if you don't mind doing one more, Alisa.
Yep.
There you go. I'm going to give you a couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes. Remember to put the reason and to, I'm going to pause the recording. Put the reason and put the tense. Okay, so I'm going to highlight keywords that you have that help you decide. So first of all, I'm going to do here. Tell me, Lily, what is the first one?
I said eating.
Estudiaba anoche mientras mi amigo. Okay, so here's what happens. I forgot to say this. The word mientras, and this is something that I have not taught, but hopefully it makes sense today. So mientras means while or during. So it is 95% likely that if you have the word mientras, your verb is going to be doing an ongoing situation. Why is that? Because the idea of while or during has embedded that concept.
Yeah, I was
That
going
makes sense?
back and forth between completed and ongoing.
Right.
I wasn't really sure.
And so what I'm going to highlight in this one is mientras. Mientras will give you the hint of what do you think?
Imperfect.
Imperfect. Okay. So I'm going to put here imperfect. And I am going to. Can you give me the reason now that you know that it is
Ongoing action.
right? Oh, yeah. Tell me the number for that, please.
Numbers?
3.
It's 3 on the table.
Yeah.
Oh,
3. Okay. Second one, Lily. What do you think? Oh, and I'm going to highlight again. Da, 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 da. Hint word.
do you want me to answer?
Mm-hmm.
Miraba, because it's an ongoing action.
Yes. So it's exactly the same idea. All right. What about number 3?
I said ise because it took place at a certain time.
Yes. What's our hint word? A las 8, at this time, see? And more so, anoche. So we know when it started. See? So anoche hice mi tarea. So we are going to say that it is Frederick. And what's the reason that you said again?
Took place at a certain time. That's
Right.
reason number 4.
Number 4. Perfect. And the last one, Lily, good job. What is it?
It would be iba because the habitual action, because every summer.
Yes. So hint words, you would say? Which ones are they?
Todos los veranos.
Yes,
because it's every
todos.
summer.
Todos los veranos. And then what else you said? Sorry?
That, I'm just saying that means every summer. So it's
Right.
Okay.
Every summer was habitual. And also here we have era niño. Cuando era niño. So that makes it description of age also in the past. See?
yeah.
All right. So imperfect. And the reason, can you tell me the number?
Number 1, and then
Number-
if you're doing age would be number 5.
Okay, so I'm gonna do both. Okay, 1 and 4. Yep, that works. All right, Nicolás. Anoche yo preparé o preparaba la cena para mi familia. What do you think?
Preparé.
Bien.
And that would
So-
be,
Tell me.
1, wouldn't it?
Number 1, can you tell me what I don't have it here, so. Can you read it? What is number 1?
Completed action.
Anoche, yes. Completed action. Can you tell me what is a word that is a hint that tells you that it's a completed action?
Anoche.
Anoche. All right. Now, number 6, what do you think? Para las vacaciones del invierno, este año visitábamos a mis abuelos en California.
Visitamos.
Yes. And what is the tense name?
It's 4. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
It could be for preterite or for imperative.
Preterite.
Say that again, you broke.
Preterite.
Preterite, yes. And you said number 4?
Yeah.
Can you read what the reason is?
Took place at a certain time.
Yes. What is the hint?
Invierno este año.
Claro. Este año is the hint. Meaning this year, right? Only this year. Okay, perfect. Next one, number 7. Cuando mi madre fue or era niña, pintaba todos los días.
Imperfect.
Bien. And can you tell me which one is imperfect?
Era.
Yes. And what's the reason?
Beginning of an event. Beginning of an event of emotion. 5.
But that is preterite.
Oh, sorry. I meant time, age, and weather.
Yes, time. So it's number 5, but from imperfect. Yes. And what is the hint?
Cuando?
Actually, it doesn't really focus on the age, but it says it's actually describing.
Todos los días.
Hold on, what's the hint? Todos los días. Okay, so todos los días means every day when
Mhm.
she was a child. So that is habitual. Number 1. Does that make sense, Nicolas?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
All right, so I'm gonna do here number 1. And what was the hint again? We said the hint, which one is it?
Todos los días.
Todos los días. When you say todos los días in the past, that means repetitive action or habitual action. Muy bien. And did you have also 8, right?
Yeah.
So anoche leí o leía un libro mientras escuchaba música.
Imperfect,
Okay.
and that would be leí.
That's
Leía.
my suggestion to you is study really well which ones are which, so you don't get confused, okay? So anoche leía un libro mientras escuchaba música. What's your hint? This is tricky because you have anoche here. So that could be preterite. Why is it not preterite?
Mientras.
Mientras, that is correct. Correct. And what do you think the reason is?
It's an ongoing situation.
Yes, it is an ongoing situation. Can you tell me the number, please?
3.
3. And the hint is mientras. You got it. Very nice, Nicolás. Alisa, cuando yo blank 12 años. So the first one is?
Tenía, imperfect.
Right. And what's the reason?
I said habitual repetitive.
So the habitual repetitive?
Yeah.
But in the age, I would say it's number 5 because it's talking about what age she was, right? Tenía 12 años, right?
Yeah.
It's still imperfect, but the reason is different. All right. What's the next one? Yo monté or montaba mi bicicleta todos los días.
Montaba,
Right. And that's what tense. What tense is that?
imperfect.
Huh? And the reason?
Habitual or repetitive. Number
Right.
1.
What's the number? I think number 1.
1, yeah.
Good job. And what's your hint for the second part?
Todos los días.
Todos los días. Todos los días in the past will have imperfect. Muy bien. Mi familia viajaba al océano en el verano. What did you get?
Viajó.
Viajó. So, tell me.
That's preterite.
Mhm.
And I wasn't sure, it couldn't be both 1 or 4 because it's a either completed
Viajó.
action or
No.
took place at a certain time.
Right, because it says en el verano and then 4 says took place. Yeah, it's either or. Yep.
Okay.
Good job. 11 now.
I said hacía, or
Hacía mi
actually
tarea.
wait, no, hice.
Easy, there you go. Why? Hold on, let me highlight the hint on 10, please.
El verano pasado.
Claro, en el verano pasado. So it is specifically one summer, last summer. Muy bien, and this one you said again, hice, right?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
Or
it's
give me
saying
the
how long
hint.
it occurred.
Yes. So this is your hint, right?
Yeah.
Before going to bed. So we have preterite, and tell me the number of the reason, please.
Number 2.
Number 2. Can you read it?
How long it occurred.
How long? I would say when it started. Which one is the one that says when it started? How long did it occur? Took place. I would say number 1. Number 4. Because
Okay.
it took place before I went to bed. All right. Número 12. El verano pasado fui
Sí.
o iba al desierto con mis abuelos.
Fui.
Ajá. Why? Or what's your hint?
The hint is el verano pasado.
Right. Same reason
And I
for
said the
number.
same thing as the other one.
Yep.
Could it
Same
be
for
both
number.
1 or 4?
Mm-hmm. There you go. Okay, and then last one, Elisa?
Yo puse.
Yeah. And Tell me, what's the hint?
Antes de salir.
Same reason as the last one, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, muy bien. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is, this is the same, 1 or 4. What I'm gonna do now is I am going to put you all three in a group so you can actually discuss what you're gonna do. I want you to actually reason why are you gonna do this. The page is now in groups and you have a paragraph and you have to decide, again, imperfect versus preterite. You don't have the table there, but you can access the table whenever you want. And you don't need to put the reason, but I want you to actually think about the reason and talk to your partners about the reason, okay? So you're gonna put the verb in the right tense and you are going to conjugate into whatever needs to be conjugated. Please hear what's going on with this verb.
Flexes.
So what do?
You have to put may in front of it.
Put the pronoun before, yes. All right, so I'm gonna stop recording. I'm gonna put